So is it visible?
Yes.
Okay. So what are the compute services on the Google Cloud platform? So whatever the services that you are using to deploy your application to do some computational task are called compute services. So let's see what are the different compute services on Google Cloud platform. So these are compute engine, app engine, cloud function, cloud run, and Google Kubernetes engine. So in today's session, I will be covering the first four, and the fifth one, that is Google Kubernetes engine. It will be covered in a separate session. So let's see what is compute engine. So like most of you are familiar with compute engine. You must have created virtual machine. You must have added load balancers, and you must have deployed a Nginx web server also. So just a quick glance on it. It is an infrastructure as a service. What I mean by infrastructure as a service is that Google has a very big infrastructure. So this tool is deployed all across their infrastructure, and you can utilize their infrastructure to do all the computational tasks using virtual machines. So get access to variety of predefined and customizable VM families coupled with consumption and pricing models as well as functionality for all of your application and workload requirements. So what I mean by predefined and customizable VM. So predefined VMs are there are some templates like there will be a fixed operating system, or there might be a fixed number of CPUs, there might be fixed number of RAMs, hard disk. Like these templates are available. So you can see this option on your dashboard. And what are customizable VMs? The VMs that we select the configuration by ourselves are called customizable VMs. Now you guys have completed a basic task like setting up a virtual machine and deploying load balancer, but there are some other features also. So these are the features of compute engine. These are some most common and most popular and most used features, and which are like very useful in your industry. So whenever you start working on compute engine in the industry as a professional, you must know all these features. Like, so the first statement, that is general purpose and optimized VM. So there's nothing much to explain. Then there are custom and predefined machine types. So this is also I just told what is this. Then what is right sizing recommendation? So compute engine will always give you right sizing recommendations. For example, you created a web server with 8 GB of RAMs, but now you are not receiving too much of traffic, or your software is using only 2 GB of RAMs. So you are paying extra for 10 extra 6 GBs of RAM. Okay. So compute engine will automatically detect the usage, and it will give you a recommendation that you can move to this configuration and it will save you so and so cost. Now, the next question comes, you cannot make your service down. Suppose you have to reduce the configuration. You can't change that VM. You have to create a new VM. So here comes the live migration. What is live migration? Whenever you receive a right sizing recommendation, or in case you have only one VM and you want to increase the configuration, so you can use live migration service. Your existing application deployment will be live. It will not go down, it will not go offline, and the same data and everything will be transferred to another VM with the selected configuration, or the configuration that is decided by right sizing recommendation system. Then committed and sustained use discount. So suppose you commit that I will use this VM for 3 months, they will give you discount 20, 30, 40. Depends on the how much resources you are consuming. The more and more resources you use, and the more and more commitment you give them, they will give you discount. Then there are preemptible VMs. So what are preemptible VMs? everything is similar as the normal VMs, but the only thing is if the workload is not there, they will go offline. Means your service will go down. Now, what is the benefit of this? First of all, you will get straight 80% discount. You have to pay only the 20% of the cost of other VMs if you are using this preemptible VM option. Then there's global load balancing. So what I mean by global load balancing is, suppose you deploy a same VM over different regions. So I don't know if no, so you guys don't have done any lab which include this global load balancing system, but you can actually deploy your VM in different regions and different zones. So the same instance will be available in different regions. So what is global load balancing? It will send the traffic according to the region it is from where it is receiving the traffic. It will distribute it evenly. And BYOL, the full form of this is buy your own license or use license included images. So when it comes to operating system, most of you have used the Debian or Ubuntu in this, right? But there was an option in the first quest to create a Windows virtual machine also. I don't know how many of you have done this, but in Windows, we need a license, right? So you can use your own license or you can use the license included images also. Same with Red Hat and other operating systems that have licensed model, right? So now, is it clear for you? Guys, can anyone unmute and give a response?
Yes, it is clear, Ishan.
Yeah, thank you. So now let's move to serverless compute. So it was not mentioned initially, but there's a set of products that are serverless. So what I mean by serverless is you don't have to deploy a server or you don't have to create a VM. Google Cloud will provide you a complete environment where you can directly run your code, directly deploy your application. So what are the benefits? There are auto scaling, like your environment will automatically scale. As soon as it detects the spike in traffic, it will automatically scale and manage everything. No infrastructure management. You don't have to care about RAM, number of CPUs, which operating system. You don't have to like manage anything. And speed to market. Like whatever the speed you get in the VM, the similar, and there are some instances where you will get better performance in serverless compute also. So these are the three serverless compute products on Google Cloud. The first one is App Engine, the second one is Cloud Run, and the third is Cloud Function. So the most interesting one is Cloud Run and then Cloud Function. App Engine, I would say it is a little bit complicated thing, but it is also equally powerful. So let's first see App Engine. It is a type of PaaS or platform as a service. So they give you a platform where you can build your application on top of it using the popular languages. It supports Python, Ruby, JavaScript, and few other languages that you can always go to the documentation and check how to develop. So there are some kind of restrictions that you have to use these specific platform dependent dependencies in your application in order to build it, right? So the other point is no need to buy, build, or operate hardware infrastructure. So this is basically, you can say hardware is there in the Google's infrastructure, and they added a layer of App Engine. On that layer, you are going to build your application using different languages. So again, no managing servers or configuring deployments. So this is the very basic feature of serverless. So basically this is available across all the serverless products. Then focus on app development instead of operations, and then use a range of languages and tool automatic scaling. Now focus on app development instead of operations. So the it is because it is a platform as a service. You have to use some set of tools, you have to follow some guidelines, you have to like read some documentation how to use the APIs given on the App Engine in order to optimize performance and all. So what I mean by performance is how to use the all the resources that App Engine provides. Not the performance in terms of deployment, scaling, and all. That will be same across all the products. But in order to use the features of App Engine, you have to use some APIs that is exposed by App Engine. Then we have Cloud Run. So how many of you know about containers? You must have deployed, you must have, yeah, Mukul, so good. You must have used your Kubernetes engine in some quick lab, and you must have deployed few Docker containers also there. So in the next session, I will cover about the what are the containers, but as of now, you can say it is similar to VM, but instead of a complete operating system, it is just a set of binaries and the code that you have written, and there is no restriction. You can write the code however you want, whichever the framework, library, language, whatever you want to use, you can use it. Then you can build a container image out of it, and it will run, it will just work out of the box on all the platforms. So everything is managed by your container engine, so it is cross platform, and you don't have to manage a lot of things here. So, and these days it is highly recommended to use containers to deploy your application. Then we have write code on your write code your way using your favorite language, Go, Python, Java, Node.js, and more. Leverage container workflow standards, pay per use. So the first thing that I explained already, it is a serverless platform. Next point, I also explained that you can use your language, framework, whatever you want to develop your application and deploy it into a container. Then leverage container workflow and standards. So container workflow means you can just create a image and deploy it across the different platforms, and there are some standards, some security standards also. So all these things will be common. You don't have to, you are not stuck in a product, you are not locked into the Google Clouds features or some restrictions. So container engines are open source and they have open standard. So if you are using it on your own infrastructure, you don't have to do anything. You just have to upload your Docker file, your Docker image, and it will straight work without an issue. And the best thing is pay per use. So if your container is running, you have to pay. If it is not running, you don't have to pay. So for example, we can see in the VM, if your VM is running, you have to use. Doesn't matter. It is no, it is not receiving any traffic. Suppose no one is using your website, but your website is up, you have to pay for it. But what happens with Cloud Run? If there is no traffic, container will not run, and you don't have to pay. So how it is measured? So up to the 100 millisecond scale, your pricing will be measured. So suppose if someone has used for 100 millisecond, a practical, theoretically we can say it, but practically it is not possible. So if someone is using for 100 millisecond, you have to pay only for 100 millisecond, nothing out of that. Then here comes the cloud functions. So these are function as a service. Suppose there is some kind of business logic you have in your organization or your industry, and you don't want to write a separate program, separate backend, write some code to expose API and parse the parameters and all the different things. You can directly deploy a function. There are certain guidelines, but your function will be same, and you can directly deploy it to the cloud function. So how these functions are triggered? For example, whenever we use function in our program, we call it somewhere. But if it is deployed, how you can call it? So these functions are triggered using the response to events. So what are these events? They might be the events So there's a set of libraries that you can use in some other backend or some other program to trigger these functions. For example, I have a social media application. So let's take an example of Instagram, right? Suppose Instagram is using Google Cloud Platform. I don't know if it is using or not. Facebook has their own infrastructure, which is very poor. You might have seen this in past few days. So suppose they are using GCP. Now you uploaded a image. Now what Instagram will do, their backend will trigger a cloud function to extract the metadata, to extract the information. So I don't know if you know this or not. All the images that you upload, it is processed and there are some custom tags added to that. Suppose you uploaded a dog's image, right? So AI will process it and add a tag of dog. Maybe they can add a breed of the dog also, and it will be saved. So instead of writing full custom backend for it, they can simply write a function to do this task. And every time a user uploads the image, that function is triggered and it will store the data in some kind of database. So this is one use case. You can use it for renaming your files also. Suppose someone is uploading a file. uh, it is possible that two users, suppose you are applying for a job on a job portal and you uploaded your resume, there are high chances that everyone will upload it as a resume.pdf. So they may use a cloud function in the backend. It will get triggered with some parameters like user who is uploading, date and time, and it will generate a name that will be unique, and it will be renamed and saved in the storage or database. So pay only for what you use. So the payment you have to do is based on the number of calls that you are doing and the number of seconds it is running. If your function is not running, you don't have to pay. So this is all about these products. Now you have seen so many products, right? So we have talked about these first four. Now, if you're working in an industry, how will you choose which product to decide? So these are the features that I have explained that will help you to decide which product to use. Now, I will stop sharing the screen. I will give you some use cases, right? And you have to answer which product will be best for this. Okay, suppose you have to deploy the VTU's result system to the cloud. Suppose you have given a task to transfer all the infrastructure to the Google Cloud. Okay, so which product will you use for this? Which will be the best choice for this? Can anyone answer? Can anyone unmute, or you can put it in chat also? Can you repeat the question again? Yeah, suppose you have to deploy the whole VDU's result distribution system to the Google Cloud. So which product will you use? Is it your VMs, your Cloud Run, your App Engine, or Cloud Function? Which one will you choose? Can anyone unmute and tell?
Cloud Run.
Uh, can you say it again?
Cloud function. Cloud function.
Who answered Cloud Run?
It was Nayab.
Oh, yeah, very good, Nap. So Cloud Run is the best choice. Actually, blindly you can say Cloud Run for any of the tasks, because it is like it is recommended by Google, it is recommended by the latest standards to use containers, and Cloud Run is the best environment. You have to simply deploy your container, you have to upload an image, or you have to upload simple Docker file, it will build the image and deploy it. And you have to you can simply forget about your infrastructure and everything. It will automatically scale, it will manage the CPU and all, it will manage the security, and everything will be managed by Google Cloud. And you don't have to do anything, you have to focus only the product that you are serving, that you are delivering to the customer. So let's say there's another use case. Suppose your result is declared, right? Now, whenever you check the result and there is some mistake, right? And you apply for a correction. Suppose that there is an option on the website to fill this form and for the correction. And you whatever the procedure there is in the behind, it will automatically verify some of the documents and immediately it will correct it. So for that correction purpose, what will you use? Will you develop a separate backend and all, or you can simply use a cloud function? There are two choices. Which one will you prefer?
Function.
Exactly. So cloud function will be a good use case. So now if you guys have any doubt, you can ask. I will answer. Few members from core team are here. They will answer. Do you guys have any doubt? You can at least put your questions in the chat box. So if you guys have no doubt, we can end the session also. Yeah, okay. Naib said no doubt. Okay, guys. So if you have no doubt, we will end the session here, and the recording will be uploaded on the YouTube, so you can go back and see, and the PPT will also be there on the event page. It will be uploaded within an hour. Thanks everyone for your time, and tomorrow, most probably tomorrow, I will do another session on Google Cloud Storages. So thank you for your time. I will stop recording now.